I wanted the character when we talked about it. I went to Vince about it, and I wanted to be a heel. It's just like, I'm not going to have your big ass out there slapping girls around. Are you crazy? He goes, let's go your wife's route. Let's make you a likable pimp. And I was off and running.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, and nothing against the WWE. They had nothing to do with the Godfather. Not meaning they had nothing to do with the creativity of him. It's all me and my wife, and they let us go. They just let me be me. But none of that was him saying, hey, why don't you? Only thing that they had to do with is Shane McMahon came up with the Ho Train.
Oh, right.
Shane McMahon goes, you got to do something where you send them in like a train, like train, and you wind up and then you hit them. That was all Shane's idea. He goes, call it the Ho Train.
Speaking of the Ho Train, in fact, I'd actually said, as the engineer of the Ho Train, as the driver, the master of the Ho Train, how do you spell hose? Is it HO''S or is it HOES? How do you do it?
HO''S.
Good man. This is probably something that I was going to ask, and you may not know this either, but who was the person who was going to the local strip clubs and getting the ladies to come to TV that day?
The first time we put girls on TV, because I was doing it without girls, not on TV, but in the house shows, I would say in the back right now in the limo waiting for you or something like that. And I would offer, it was Bradshaw, me and Bradshaw are the ones that started this. And it was Bradshaw that we started, it was getting over big time. And we went to TV and Vince says, Charles, can you get some girls? Can you put some girls to it? I'm like, are you joking me? Me, Taker, and the Harris boys, we went to a strip club and got some girls and we brought them back. After that, it was over. The first night that we did it, it was such a great reaction that they took it over. And I think Bruce Pritchard was the first one that was starting it. And then they would just call strip clubs. And then as it got over on TV, strip clubs started calling them. And then as it got over even more, then Vince is like, I can't let these strippers I gotta calm these girls down a little bit. So he went to a modeling agency, right? But they were worse than the strippers. They were worse than the strippers. So there were probably strippers too that just models too. But it was a good time.
I've got something so specific but it was so memorable, and I cannot find the footage to it because I think it was like an international only version of Heat, and it was like early 2000. You were wrestling. And you're on one side of the ring and the ladies were on the other. And you beckoned one of them over. And the ring was so bouncy that one of them ended up missing a footing and doing a Ric Flair bump on her front complete, like boom, like that. Do you remember this? Or is it only in my head?
I don't remember that one time, but it happened a lot because the girls would have those high heels on. And it happened more than one time, so I don't remember that one and plus they'd have to walk down the ramp, where the ramp was graded, man. It had holes in it, they had those shoes on, and then they'd get in the ring, and I remember I used to tell the girls, if you fall down, don't worry about it. I'll fall down with you or something, And it happened a couple of times, and I fell down with her, and we got up, everybody laughed. But it was hard for them, man, because they had those high heel shoes on in that ring.
I've got to ask this as well. Who was the main culprit who was sniffing around the ladies backstage?
All of them. I ain't gonna give all of them. See, at that point, I wasn't, like I said, I've been married over 20 years. At that time, I'd stopped messing around with girls. So that whole Godfather thing, I never messed with any of the girls, but a lot of the boys did. I'm not gonna give up nobody's names, but there was a lot of them after the girls, and those girls were all wrestling fans, so it was pretty easy.
Got a signature as well, of a sort, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey,